Hey, what's up everybody? So I have had a lot of questions on my most recent videos about the 2021 two-coin reverse proof American Silver Eagle set. What's that question? Can anybody guess what that question is? The question is, should I send these coins in to get graded? Should we send these off? Send these off to PCGS, send these off to NGC. Maybe you're thinking about Annex. Should we send these off to get graded? So what we're gonna do in this video, I'm gonna give you my opinion, what I think about it, just my opinion, and also we're gonna look at some facts throughout this video, but let's talk about it. Should we send these coins off to get graded? So in my opinion, I think the first question you should ask should be to yourself, and that is why? What is my why? Why would I want to get these graded? Is this something that you are going to hold just for your collection? Is this something you want to sell and maximize your profit? That, I think, is the key question as to if you should get these graded or not get these graded. If your objective is to sell, maximize your profit, then maybe you do want to send these out to get graded. However, the key is that they almost have to come back a proof 70. In order for it to be worth it, in order for you to not just throw your $20, $25 away, first of all, do you have a NGC or PCGS subscription? Are you a member of PCGS or NGC? If not, one thing that you have to think about is that you're going to have to invest cost into becoming a member. Non-members can't submit coins to be graded. Next question is, do you have a LCS that will submit coins for you at free of charge? Maybe you might have to throw a little bit towards the shipping. Maybe they will cover the shipping if they are sending their own coins to get graded as well. That's another good question to ask. So if you do have a local coin shop who submits coins to PCGS or NGC, you should ask them. In my opinion, that's what I do. Ask your local coin shop, would you send mine as well? Hopefully they do it at free of charge. Now, if they want to charge you a fee to do it, then I would for sure probably not do it. I don't know. That would be up to you at that point. But I am not a member of NGC, I'm not a member of PCGS or Annex or any grading company. So I rely on my local coin shop for any coins that I submit for grading. I rely on them to do it for me, and they don't charge me shipping. All I pay out of pocket is the grading fees, which is normally around $25 per coin. Every time that I do send something out for grading, I always like to get my original packaging back. And these companies will send your original packaging back to you if you request it, but they, in most cases, do charge you in between $5 and $10 to send it back to you. Now, the other option, in which I have done also in the past, is I have just opened it up myself, took the coin or coins out of it, and sent just the coins in the capsules. Don't take them out of the capsules for sure, and I have kept the paperwork and the box and just sent off the coins. It's personal preference if that's what you want to do. Some people would rather just keep it within the packaging because grading, in my opinion, is very subjective. Now, you might get a better grade, I have no idea, if it goes to the grading company in all the original mint packaging, maybe in a sealed box. That's something to possibly think about. I have personally sent out myself in 2019, I sent out the 2019 San Francisco Enhanced Reverse Proof. I sent that out to NGC and it came back a 70, really awesome. Then in 2020, I had 3 of the silver W V75 Poof American Silver Eagles. I sent all 3 of them to PCGS, and they came back all 69. So that really was not worth the money that I invested in getting those coins graded. So it's really a gamble, in my opinion, if you are going to send these out or not, because you want them to come back 70s. If they come back 69s, in most cases, not in every case, but in most cases, then you might as well have just sold them or just kept them in the original mint packaging, in my opinion. With having said that you really want to get 70s, what is your odds of getting a 70? Now, like I said, in my opinion, it is all subjective. It's all an opinion. It's all an opinion of the person grading the coins. That's why in some cases, some people get them back. Some people don't like the grades. Then they crack them out, or they just send them back for regrading, and then it could come back a grade higher, they could come back a grade lower, and that stuff does happen. So it's all the opinion of the person grading said coins. But all of these coins, every coin that comes directly from the United States Mint, in my opinion, should all be 70s. If they're not 70s, then something went really, really wrong at the United States Mint. But what I believe does happen, and again, in my opinion, is that these grading companies don't want to just hand out all 70s, because if they hand out all 70s, then what's the point of sending them in for grading anyway, because they're all going to be worth the same. If everything came back as 70 and they're all going to be worth the same amount of money, then at that point there's really no reason to send them out for grading in the first place, because you might as well have just kept them in the original mint packaging if they're all worth the same. So in my opinion, these grading companies, even if they are all 70s, they don't want to throw a 70 on every single one of them, because then the population of the 70s are just way, way too high. So let's go take a look at the population report of PCGS, of NGC, and let's see what the odds are of getting a 70. What is the odds of getting a 70? How many of the most recent special hot Silver Eagle releases got 70s? How many of them got 69s? How many people were unfortunate enough to get something lower than a 69? Let's go check it out. We are looking at the PCGS population report, and here is the 2019 West Point Enhanced Reverse Proof American Silver Eagle, and then down here is the 2019 San Francisco Enhanced Reverse Proof American Silver Eagle. So if we take a look at the population, so for the 2019 San Francisco Enhanced Reverse Proof American Silver Eagle submitted to PCGS, there was 8,169 total coins submitted to PCGS. Out of that, 4,944 came back proof 70s, as did mine, well, from NGC, not from PCGS. And then 3,172 came back proof 69. So the majority of the coins that was sent out, the 8,169, the majority of them came back proof 70s. And then still a lot of them came back proof 69. So it's not so much 50-50, but I mean, it's almost like a toss of the coin if you're going to come back a 70 or if you're going to come back 69s. Now, how many of those 4,944 went to the dealers? That's an absolutely good question. Do you have a better chance? Do the dealers have a better chance of getting a 70 than the average person sending them out? Again, that's up for debate. That's another excellent question. Unfortunately, there was some that came back. 50 of them came back 68s. 2 of them came back 67s. 1 of them came back a 66. I mean, at that point, if you get anything lower than a 69, it's probably worth it to hopefully you had your original mint packaging returned to you, or you kept it in the first place and cracking it out very carefully, or giving it to somebody like a local coin shop, who knows how to crack them out and not ruin the coin, and putting them back in the original mint packaging, because I can't imagine a 67 or a 66 is going to get you the same value, probably less than if you would have had it in the original mint packaging, is my guess. Then we had the 2019 West Point, which came out of the Pride of Two Nations. This one, look at this, 19,444 submitted. And look at how many came back 70s, 18,244. And then only 1,190 came back 69s. And then some unfortunate souls got 9 68s and then 1 67. Look at that. What is the odds? The odds of getting that, a 68 or 69, those should be worth the most. You think the 9, the 167, 101. That's a 101. That unfortunate soul that got the 67 and the 68. But the majority of these, look at that, 18,244. Only 1,190 got 69. So the majority of those coins are perfect MS70s. And then we had the 2020 V75 Poof American Silver Eagles, 15,900 submitted to PCGS. And then again, the majority, by a lot, got MS70s. Mine, I sent in 3 to PCGS, and they all came back 69s, unfortunately. But majority of them, 9,851 came back 70s, 5,832 came back 69s, and then again, some unfortunate souls got 163 of them got 68s, 36 67s, and then something went really, really wrong here. Where, I mean, what at this point, what are people doing? Taking them out of the capsules and, put them in their pockets, or I don't know what's going on, but 14 got 66, 3 65, and 1 with that Poof 64. Crazy. Once again, a 101. Should that one be worth more than the 9,851 that got Poof 70s? Crazy. Once again, if you're one of these that got a 64 or anything less than a 69, hopefully you got your original mint packaging back, or you still have it and putting it back in the original mint packaging. Now, this may need a little bit of research, but I do not believe that these coins have to be sent to these grading companies inside of the original box sealed that you get from the United States Mint. These COAs, to my knowledge, they're not serialized. There's none that are going to be signed, I do not believe. So I do not believe these have to be submitted in the original mint shipping box sealed. So I believe you can open them up, take a look at them, but I would do a little bit of research on that. I did not do any research for this video on that. So it's something you may want to look into, but I do not believe they have to be sealed. Maybe call PCGS, maybe call NGC and ask, do you want these? How do you want to receive these? Do you want to receive these in the sealed United States Mint shipping box, or can I open them up and take a look at them? If you can open them up and take a look at them, I would definitely look at them first with your eyes and make sure that there's no milk spots, make sure there's no noticeable scratches, so you can sort of ensure, hopefully there's no guarantees that you're going to get one of these 64s, 65s, 66s, 67s, hopefully not a 68. If you do send them out, you really want to get back that 70. I believe, looking at sold listings for the V75s, for the enhanced reverse proofs, typically you're only going to increase the value of these coins if it comes back a 70. 69s, typically, not always, but in a lot of cases, in most cases, 69s are worth very little to no more than if you kept it in the original mint packaging and did not send them out at all. So the gamble, the risk is Is it going to come back at 70? Then you also have to factor in, are you going to put the first strike or early release? For me, it does not matter. In my opinion, the first strike or early release means absolutely nothing, because all of these are early releases. All of these are first strikes because they sold out for the most part in 2 hours. They were gone, most of them. Some of them, yes, they came back the next day, and the United States Mint did sell some of them on the very next day for about 10 minutes. But the majority of these sold out in the first 2 hours. One thing that would be crazy is if the United States Mint had something where they actually put the time on the box or something in which they were sold, because people who actually bought these in the first 10 minutes, what if the grading companies had some fancy label that said where they would put the timestamp in which these were bought, which in the order of which you bought them from the United States Mint? Because wouldn't that be the most value then, would be the ones that were purchased within the first 10 minutes versus the people who had to struggle with the United States Mint website for an hour or hour and a half or 2 hours. So then you would have these fancy labels that said in the first 10 minutes. Wow, what value would that bring? Crazy. Just, I mean, that's just a little bit of a joke. But to me, the first strike early release value to me is very little to none, but I do realize that there's a lot of collectors, there's a lot of people who do like to buy coins that say early release, first strike, and that kind of thing. To me, the value is zero, but to a lot of collectors, there are collectors who collect all 70s. There are collectors who won't buy a coin unless it's PCGS or NGC first strike, early release. Some people just like collecting and sending out to PCGS. Some people just like collecting and sending out to NGC. It's a personal preference. That's why when people say, should I send out my coins to get graded? I can't say yes, I can't say no. It is a personal preference in which you want to do. Do you have the money? Can you afford it? Also, you really want to get these things back almost as fast as possible in a lot of cases. Thankfully, these were sold in September. Most of the hot releases come at the very end of the year, between the end of October and sometime in November. And then if you send them out for grading, a lot of them don't come back till after Christmas. And if you want to maximize your profit, if your goal is to sell and get back as much money as possible, as fast as possible, then you really want to sell these before Christmas, in my opinion. Well, let's head over to NGC. We're going to take a quick look at the NGC population reports, and then I will end this video. We are on the NGC website, and right off the bat, we can tell NGC wants your business. When I went to PCGS's website, they didn't have these coins pop up right when you went to their website where it has the fancy labels. Here's 35, and then you have Silver Design Set 2021 West Point 2001 San Francisco, Early Release, Eagle Landing, Heraldic Eagle Type 1, Eagle Landing Type 2, Proof 70s. NGC, right off the bat, they want you to send your coins to them. They're showing you their fancy little label that's designated just for this Eagle 35th anniversary, your Type 1, your Type 2. Let's go take a look at their population report. All right, so here is NGC's population report, and here is the 2020 V75. Now we can see it looks like a total of 20,750 was submitted to NGC. So it looks like between PCGS and NGC, the majority of these V75 coins was submitted for grading to one grading company or the other, PCGS or NGC. 20,750. Out of that, 15,921 came back perfect 70. So a good majority of them came back a 70. So we're starting to see what the odds are of getting a 70 between getting a 70 and a 69. Unfortunately, mine all came back 69s for whatever reason. Now, how many of these, once again, was the big dealers? How many of these was the average person submitting one coin? Is there a difference? Do you have better odds if you're a dealer? Do you have less of a chance if you're the average person sending them out? I don't know. That's something to maybe think about. And then 4,731 came back 69s. And then once again, the unfortunate people got 69 68s, 17 67s, 4 66s, 165, and 164. I don't know what these people here, what happened to these coins. They're just all milk spotted up, all scratched up. I have no idea. But obviously these people probably did not look at their coins at all before sending these out for grading, or maybe they took them out of the capsule for whatever reason. Who knows? But this here should never happen. Every one of these coins should be a 70 or a 69. Nothing, in my opinion, should be below a proof 69. Should you send your coins out for grading? And I go back to my original question from the beginning of the video, and that question is why? You got to ask yourself, why am I doing it? To max my profit? What is the odds of getting back a 70? If you get back a 70, you're going to probably add a couple $100 at least to how much these coins are going to sell for. If you get a 69, chances are you might as well have just kept it in the original mint packaging, because the value is going to probably be somewhat of the same. Could this be a little bit different because of the fact that you got a type 1, a type 2, the last of the type 1, the first of the type 2, reverse of 86, reverse of 2021, and then you got the label with the type 1, type 2. To me, it doesn't matter. It's all about getting that proof 70. Now, if you're keeping it for yourself, keeping it for your personal collection, then to me, it just doesn't matter. If you're not planning on selling these coins, then to me, you might as well, in my opinion, just keep it in the original mint packaging and not spending the extra money to get, because everything costs extra. Everything you add to that label. If you want early release and first strike, I believe that's an extra like $5. If you want something else added to the label, it's another fee. If you want to get your original mint packaging, if you send it in the box and in the capsules and you want to get all that back, then I believe it's another $5 to $10 added to the fee. So the fees for the grading do add up. But if you want to do it is to maximize your profit and you come back as proof 70s, then it may be worth it. It may be worth it to you to send it out, but you want to get those 70s. Even though the majority of them are getting 70s, and you would think that since the population is so great for 70s, that 70s really aren't worth that much more, but people like seeing the 70s. There's a lot of collectors, like I said before, that just like to buy 70s. They don't want them in the original mint packaging. They want it as a proof 70, and then some people rather buy from NGC. Some people, there's collectors. There is collectors for everything, and then some people only want to buy proof 70s as an early release or a first strike, even though I don't believe, to me, it doesn't make a difference, but to other people it does, and that's why they tend to sell for more on the secondary market, and that's why all the grading companies get early releases and first strikes on them, because people pay more for them. It's just reality. Is it something you should do? I think that's a question that at the end of the day, you're going to have to ask yourself, and is it worth the risk to come back at 69? Or unfortunately, some people get 68s and lower. Is it worth the risk? You've seen for yourself that the majority of them do come back 70s. And then as for me, in my experience, I sent out 3 of the last V75 Privy Mark American Silver Eagle proof coins and got back all 69s. However, I did send out, and I still have to this day, one of the Pride of Two Nations sets that I sent out after buying it. I bought the set from my local coin shop, had them send them out for grading, and both the Eagle and the Maple Leaf both came back 70s. So hopefully this video cleared some things up, or maybe it's clear as mud. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. I appreciate everybody for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and I will talk to everybody on my next video. Thanks a lot, everyone.